etc. So I have these priorities.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Thank you. Abstract, but Honorable Minister has simply put it that it is doable. That is the inspiring word with which I would like to begin. So this idea of photonics, photonics is nothing but photon. Photon is nothing but a sun ray. Sun ray does have two capabilities. One is particle uh, characteristic and another is wave. So we are using this particle. So what is happening in this world is basically the entire knowledge structures, epistemes, have evolved because of computing revolution. Because of the chip, because of the integrated circuit, we are here where we are. In the sense that every tablet, every mobile, every system, even supercomputer works on the basis of a chip. This chip is having a traditional conventional wisdom or it's a traditional conventional knowledge structure about it. It is silicon chip and the data transmission takes place through an electron and the connectivity is through copper wiring. So this invention has made all the life more comfortable. Now we are hitting a dead end with this kind of technology. This silicon chip, the progression of the evolution of the silicon chip is which was being progressed as per Moore's law. Moore's law says that every couple of years the processor speed becomes doubled up. So now we are hitting a dead end in the sense that the basic conventional knowledge structure of chip is getting a dead end because no more we can add transistors to the small nodes of the chip. We are hitting a dead end. Now all over the globe several researchers have started taking place to find out an alternative computing paradigm. So one of them happens to be the photonics. Photonics in the sense that it's very simple to explain. That is, on a chip, electron is the basis for current or the transmission of the data. And it goes through a copper wire. Now, we are replacing this electron with photon. Electron does have mass and charge. Photon doesn't have mass. So when electron travels in a copper wire, it generates heat because the copper wire offers resistance and this is having mass, so heat. So to subsidize heat, again we will be forced to use energy. So much low efficient silicon chips are being manufactured and we are operating on them. Now with the usage of the photon, there is no heat at all. So we will be able to operate the chip at 172 times lesser energy consumption levels. And because of the photon, the processor speed, the processing speed, the data transmission speed increases by 57 times. Imagine what happens. Now, we are talking about single core, double core, octa core, multi-core, increasing the processing speed. But what happens if the processing speed increases by 57 times? That is the paradigm shift. That is the epistemological break which is going to happen. Because when the processor speed increases by 57 times, operating system, which we know, has to catch up. It becomes obsolete. Again, new operating system has to be coming up. And what happens to the languages? What happens to the applications? Everything has to be changed. So this is the paradigm shift which is going to happen with photonics. So I know nobody knows anything about the photonics in this part of the world. But in US, 4 to 5 years back, the federal government of America, which is having research organizations like DARPA, Defense Research Organization of Army, NAVAIR, Research Organization of Navy, and NSA, National Security Agency. They have pumped in $130 million with a guy called Dr. Razdar, his company is Photonic, to do some research in this arena of photonics. And they have employed the best brains of the world. That is, Caltech, MIT, and Stanford were roped in for the research activities. So entire $130 million went into this researching this activity alone. So they came up with certain products. They have come up with some 24 products. This company has come up with 24 products. And now these products are being used by the Air Force of America, Navy of America, and several other applications. Now, by November 2014, the contractual obligation of this company with the federal government of America is over, in the sense that now they can commercially explore these products all over the world, anywhere in the world. This happened in November 2014, and Telangana government has entered into an MOU with these guys in February 2015. So we could convince them with the help of Honorable Minister was saying, referring to Dr. Saraswat, with the help of Dr. Saraswat, we could make him sign an MOU with the government of Telangana. There were whole other governments, specifically nine governments were chasing this protagonist, and we succeeded in getting them down to Hyderabad. So here the task is very simply cut out. We have to make Hyderabad the center of next computing revolution. Every computer all over the world, 5 to 10 years from now, should have a chip which will be having an inscription like "Make in Telangana." That is the dream. But I know that it's a very abstract dream, very ambitious dream, and stupendously difficult goal to achieve. But we are starting with the simple single steps. Like first of all, what we are planning to do is that from 9 months to 12 months from now, we are going to manufacture the 24 products which have been already evolved by this company in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, we are going to manufacture. This is the first step. As Honorable Minister was saying, we need to go stepwise, practical, pragmatic stepwise. So this is the first step. And PwC has already identified $8 billion US dollars market in India alone for these 24 products. And I'm not talking about the global market for these products. So our primary target is to make an ecosystem or to make infrastructure in such a manner wherein we will be coming out with 24 products in 9 to 12 months time. This is first target and first phase which we talk about. And it doesn't mean that we are going chronologically. This is first phase, it can be first phase, but it can be only a first track. There is a second track. There is a second track which is known as supercomputing discourse. Government of India under Modi ji, our Honorable Prime Minister, has announced a policy called supercomputing policy. They have earmarked 5,000 crores for manufacturing 70 computers for the Indian usage in all the cities by the government agencies. Now, we are going to convince the government of India to give the project to us because supercomputers will become supercomputers only because of their super processing power. And this photonics, this integrated photonics will provide the superior processing power for the supercomputers. This is what going to be our argument. And on 20th, we are meeting Niti Aayog Vice Chairman, Dr. Panagaria, to convince about this project. So this is our second track, supercomputing. And third thing is solar. With the integrated photonics, actually the solar energy efficiency could be achieved to the tune of 38%. And there is a very possibility that it is going to be increased. It's very simple. Solar panel is there, a sun ray hits, and one photon pushes one electron into the wire in the form of electricity. That's all. Now, if one photon pushes two electrons, it is doubling up. One photon, instead of pushing the electron into the wire, if it comes into the wire in the form of electricity, the consequences are unimaginable. So all this research is being done, and up to the extent of achieving 38% of solar energy is there on the table. So this is going to be our third track. And the fourth track is basic CMOS foundry. Basic CMOS foundry in the sense that now in the world, to establish a foundry, CMOS foundry is nothing but which manufactures chips. To establish a foundry, it requires anywhere between $5 billion to $10 billion. And it has whole baggage. Recently, the IBM has sold off its foundry to global foundries by paying $1.5 billion. IBM sold foundry to the supercomputers by paying, not by taking $1.5 billion. That means there are so much of baggage attached to a foundry. Now with this silicon technology, photonics technology, the foundry can be built with an outlay of 300 to 400 millions only, not billions. And government of India has come up, the previous government, I'm talking about UPA government, has come up with a policy of developing fabs in India, and it has allotted 2 fabs to private sector companies. One is to the tune of 27,000 crores and another is to the tune of 34,000 crores. One is in Noida and second is in Gujarat basically. And they have not started their operations at all. For the past 2 years, they have been taking $100 million every year from the government of India and they have not started their production at all. We are going to request Niti Aayog, because Niti Aayog, the predecessor of Niti Aayog is Planning Commission. Planning Commission was the agency which gave that mandate to that companies to start fabs. We are going to represent to them that why do you sustain, why do you contain, why do you continue to give them the opportunity with the 10 billion US dollars when we can come up with the same proposition of establishing a fab in Hyderabad with just $400 to $500 million. This is going to be our fourth track. And the fifth track is the ultimate dream. Ultimate dream is coming up with complete photonics chip. That will take 3 to 3.5 years from now. So this is the game plan which we are planning. Our role, the Photonics Valley Corporation role, is clearly cut out. We are the facilitators. We are not going to look after the manufacturer. We are the facilitators. We are going to facilitate the establishment of SPVs, special purpose vehicles as well. Probably 1 or 2 SPVs for each and every track. And we will be giving administrative support, policy support, and mobilization of investment support, and several other supports. Already Government of India has come up with under Digital India and EMC, Electronic Manufacturing Cluster Policy. They are doling out so much of concessions for $100 million which go into the foundry. $55 million concessions are there in with Government of India. And our revolutionary policy of industrial policy, the revolutionary industrial policy, is already having certain features which are which are going to enable this ecosystem to take off. So with the Government of Telangana under revolutionary industrial policy and Government of India under Digital India and EMC policies, we are going to milk all the concessions so that the cost of the project down here in Hyderabad will be manageable. Now we are talking about $1.2 billion of investment over a period of next 5 years. But in the first year, we require only $45 million, out of which 55% is going to be borne by the Government of India itself. And the rest of the outlay, which goes for the land, other infrastructural facilities, we are already ready. Because TSIIC has been already mandated to develop infrastructure facilities. And we have a detailed plan of going about this, the first year's target. The employment front. Somebody was asking me, what is the employment which is going to be generated after this exercise? Nobody can calculate. Nobody can figure out, because it is going to be immense. Because every operating system, every software language is going to be redefined. So you can imagine that employment opportunity over a period of next 5 years. So our dream is to make Hyderabad the center of next computing revolution, because we have missed the revolution, industrial revolution, and we missed the computing revolution of 1970s, and this is our opportunity which we cannot miss. So Honorable Minister was saying that hardware is our priority, manufacturing is priority. I am very heartened to listen to that, and I'm very encouraged, and I'm very motivated, and I work 24/7 to make the dream a reality. Thank you.